WeKanGame. Fan suggestions. Suggested by Nerved Network, reminding you why it's good to have ears. Hello everyone and welcome, my name is Andrew Can, together WeKanGame. In today's fan suggested video, we play the hit 1996 2D side-scrolling game Toxic Bunny, or the HD remake. Now, I'm very happy this game was suggested to me. It's been quite a while since I've done a fan suggested video, but without much else to do, let us get started with new game. We're going to play this on medium difficulty.
This is the story of a rabbit, an almost normal rabbit that gets into an abnormally bad mood. One afternoon in Lushvale, the cute fluffy critters, or CFCs, were idly watching grass grow, when suddenly the world shook and the sky darkened. Weasel Corp had purchased the rights to Lushvale. Did they frolic to and fro. No longer did they idly watch the grass grow. The day had changed. But I digress. Didn't I tell you this was the story of an almost normal rabbit? Washed away in a river of green goo, our coffee-loving hero was whisked unwillingly into the glowing green rapids. But all journeys must come to an end, or in this case, a sudden stop. Toxic Bunny was annoyed. One might even say Toxic Bunny was more annoyed than any other bunny has ever been.
And right away, I like how they give us this comic book style recap. We could see Weasel Corp coming in. We can see Toxic Bunny's ears right there. We can see how they were just dumping toxic waste, and Toxic Bunny just rode one of these barrels, but then got into a dead end, and that's where we start. Now, right away, I have to say I love the style of this game. I think the style is really beautiful. And the controls are simple. WASD is to move, W and D move left and right. You can also use arrow keys. To pick up objects, you have to hit C. You can access your journal by hitting J, and it gives you an idea of the monsters. It also tells you how many levels there are, the weapons you'll get. And if you hit M, you have your map. So that's pretty much it for basic controls. Also, if you hit shift, you can run. So I like that a lot. I like that right away. Now, holding X will throw these capsules and damage enemies. As you can see, we as well can get damaged. There are also these containers which you can use to make potions. And potions really change up the gameplay, and that's one thing I really like about Toxic Bunny. Now, as always, I try to reach out to the developers of these games I play for my fan suggested series, just because you get a better idea and a better feeling of what the game went through when its development. And I asked the person who suggested this to me. He's actually a tester for this game, so he was pretty close to this project. And I asked him to ask the developer of this game to ask the questions I usually ask, and he gave them to Travis, who was the lead project design for this game. So these are all Travis's answers. A little bit of information about Travis is a 41-year-old South African game designer who's been developing games since he was in primary school. Now right there we experienced a death. Deaths are not that frequent in Toxic Bunny. I'm just not playing to the best I would like to. But I asked Travis, why did you name Toxic Bunny what you named it? And he said that It was basically a trend in the 90s. Like I said, this game came out in 1996, and at that time there was a trend of like toxic and all these kind of important sounding words. And if you remember, in the 90s there was the zoom, the boom craze, so it makes sense. I asked him if he's ever beaten this game, and he actually has. He's beaten this game quite many times. Every time they release an update or something, he beats it to make sure it works well. Now here we have a plot point. As you can see in the top right hand corner, we have some objectives, and we found something heavy, which was the anchor, and now we need to find something to drop that heavy thing on. So why don't we wait for this alien to come by, and boom. I also want to comment, I love how Toxic says little things like, "I shall call you Squishy." And as you can see, we have definitely murdered this alien creature, and he says, "Curse you, fluffy fiend." And as you see, we hit C to pick it up, and now we have a substantial weapon and a suitable weapon. Now, I asked Travis, has he watched some YouTube videos of this game? And he actually has. He loves watching people have issues with the creature design. He said that he likes to watch people enjoying the challenge of his game, and I guess as a game designer that has to be something that's really fulfilling. Now it says detonate the explosion, so we shall do just that. Now I probably should have gotten a little bit of distance because I actually took a lot of damage from that, but you know, planning and I are not one that go together. But yeah, Travis likes watching people have issues with this game because it proves that he's designed a challenging part. Now as I mentioned, the potions really add to the gameplay, and that's actually Travis's favorite part of this game, is how much the potions can change the gameplay. And as you see in the bottom right hand corner, we actually have access to a power-up. It's called the super jump. Power-ups are stored there. And again, I love Toxic's little comments. Now I asked if Toxic Bunny was based on any other game, because you know, I'm just curious. And he said not really. There were just many platformers out at the time, but they loved Earthward Jim especially. So they probably say that would probably be the game they drew inspiration from. And he's right. During this time in the 90s, there were a lot of platformers in the 2D side-scrolling market, such as Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country. So this game is kind of a hidden gem amongst the 2D side-scrollers in my opinion. It's really unique, it's not made by a huge name company like Nintendo, and it's just a really fun game. Now, I will say that this game is kind of crude, but that's one of the things I like about Toxic Bunny. It's called Toxic Bunny. You pretty much kind of have an idea of a game you're going to get into with that name. Now, I asked Travis, what would you say to anyone who wants to get into the indie gaming market, but is maybe scared, maybe doesn't know how to start? And he said, just start. Everything will come in time, but the worst thing you can ever do in the indie gaming field, and really in life, is not start because you're afraid of failure. Everyone is going to fail. Even great people have failed, but you have to start. You'll never know if you don't start. So, I like that advice of just start. Now as you see there, we collected an extra life, and we got the little hallelujah chorus there, and I love the humor in this game. Travis actually said when him and the team of Celestial Games was developing Toxic Bunny, they actually had 2 other game projects on at the same time, but Toxic Bunny was by far the best and their favorite. So they decided to push onward for the development of Toxic Bunny, and I'm so glad they did, because this is a fantastic game. Now, you can get this game by hitting the link in the description. I definitely recommend you pick it up. Now, it is for computer, and I asked if they have any plans for expansion on this game, and he said not so much as of now, at least nothing in no active development. Maybe in the future they do have some ideas they've toyed, but nothing too serious. So we may see a Toxic Bunny too, but there's no immediate plans for this. Now, another thing I like to mention is I like how Toxic Bunny has a couple of just random traits. Like, as you see, you can see that that he uses like the same kind of feat as Sonic does with his feet, or maybe even Roadrunner. But I just had to use a potion there because I was low on health. I'm gonna use another one just to show it again. But I'm gonna take out this spider. And one thing I like to comment on is the backgrounds for Toxic Bunny, because I like them quite a bit. I think they're very unique. I think they're very colorful. And for a 2D side scroller where basically you're just jumping from platform to platform, it's very nice to have. Ooh, that was my bad. But this actually brings us to a secret with a new power-up, or new potion as they're called. I like to call them power-ups because they're basically that. But it's the lucky human foot, and that goes back to the humor of this game. Commonly, it is known as the lucky rabbit's foot, but they took a interesting twist on it and made it a human's foot to make it unique, and I just love that. I love that humor. Like I said, the humor to me is probably one of my favorite parts of this game. Now, as you can see, this game is not easy. They do have a lot of obstacles, and a lot of smart obstacles, and that was not well planned on my part. But we're gonna make it back. Going to run. Actually, I'm probably just going to do this. I probably should have switched to a potion there. But, you know, that was my bad. Oh no! He said the hardest thing he finds is the enemy design, Travis, but maybe for me it's platforming. I don't know. I'm decent at platformers, but sometimes I just can't platform to save my life. And that's showing now. So I'm going to switch by using the comma key to get to the super jump, or maybe I need to. There we go. I'm going to hit Z to activate. And I want to shift run. There we go. Made it. Now I'm going to take care of this spider. And I want to complete one of the objectives in the second quest here. Now, obviously I'm not going to complete this game because I definitely want you to check it out for yourself. Now, I like how this is an interesting thing. I like how there's a chair and TV setup right here. And as you can see, we get more potions going in down there. Give you an idea. Alright, let us jump up here. Run through here. Sometimes I find it more beneficial to kind of run past things. Okay. So now we're going to take care of this caterpillar-like creature. And I'm going to do my best to not take too much damage, but get rid of this bat. I find the bat to be the most annoying enemy, at least for me personally, because, I don't know, the bats just, they do a lot of damage. So, there we go. And here we have a magic rope, and if we hit C, we can activate it and be taken to a new objective, a new area, and we are in the mole miner. And this shows us a little bit of story, and it says, Toxic says, it seems we have the mole miner, and it seems that Molfred has the keys to this mole miner. So that's our new objective, and I like how they do that. And as you can see, we have new enemies. We have what we've been going against, these spiders. So I'm just going to kind of charge here and use this to take care of them out in quick succession. I like how the shots can kind of, I don't know, I guess alternate. So I want to switch to the health and definitely take some of that coffee. As we learned from the opening, Toxic is a avid coffee drinker, which I kind of find funny. I don't know. I guess being from New York, I find it funny when animals are coffee drinkers as well. I don't know. Need a mechanic? Ah, I love those quotes. Now I'm going to get rid of these moles. I love the animal design as well. Even Toxic has a really unique design, and the art style of this game is great. So let us take care of these. Now, I will be sending this review to Travis, and I hope he likes it. It's not really much of a review, as it's more of a first impressions. That's what I've really noticed that this fan-suggested series is. It's kind of more of a first... It's more of a first impressions kind of series, but I really appreciate when you guys send games. And you, as always, you can just send a game to me via either here on YouTube or via Twitter, and I will I will definitely check it out. Now, the person who suggested this game actually was cool enough to give me a key for it, and I've been able to play the full game, and I have to say, this game is definitely worth picking up. If you have the time, definitely look into picking it up. It's a fun game, it's unique, and you won't get bored. It has enough challenge to keep you going, but it's not too difficult to where you're never going to be able to beat it. Now, personally, I've only made it to level 3. I'm still working on it. And it's a fun, interesting fact is that originally Toxic Bunny, you couldn't get past level 3. So the fact that they've actually added things to this remake to make it beatable, to, you know, make it more of a full game is just really a cool thing. And I believe we've been here already. So now I need to find out where to go. Now, as you'll notice, we gain money for everything we collect, and there is a reason for this. There's actually some shops scattered around this world, and if I find any, I might show that off. But if you look up top, you can see our high score, and oh god, I want to get out of that. Alright, let us run past all this. As I said, I love running fast in these games, so I want to avoid as much of that negative stuff as we can. Alright, so let us go this way and hopefully find something. It says no entry. But here we are again to the magic rope. It actually shows us the bat cave, which is actually something we needed to find. So, oh god, died again. I don't know, I'm not having an easy time today. I usually do well in platformers. And with that, we actually found one objective. And that is going to be it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your time, and as always, I hope you have a great day. Alright, that's going to be today's episode for fan suggested video. If you have a game you'd like to see me play, leave it as a comment below or tweet it at me, and I will definitely consider playing it on this series. I'd like to take this time to thank Nerve Network for suggesting this really fun game, and not only that, but giving me a key to this game to play and try out. I really can't thank you enough. I'd also like to thank Celestial Games for making such a great game. The links to get this game will be in the description below. If you liked this video, highly consider hitting that video you see on screen to see more videos of the same nature. If you really like my work, highly consider hitting that subscribe button. It really does help me out. But with that, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you all so much again for watching. Thank you all so much for your time. And as always, I hope you have a great day. To move, we can use the WASD, WS control forward and backwards, and A and D strafe left and right. Look around using your mouse. It's very simple controls. To run, you hold the shift key, or you can double tap the W, but I'll probably hold shift key. To reverse, you hit the S key. And that's basic controls. This game was developed by the Short and the Tall, and how it was suggested to me was by Alberto. One of the designers actually contacted me and a bunch of people on IndieDB to play this demo, to play it